Good morning. Hello there from wherever you're coming in from. I am coming in from my car today for this week's SNL Live. Welcome to Sales and Negotiation Live if you've not joined us before. Today's topic is Christmas networking. If you feel this way about if this space is representative of kind of how you feel about networking, then this is the conversation that might be helpful for you. Networking is a necessary part. If you're a business professional today, if you're not talking to people and you're not meeting people, you're just simply not doing business. For those of us, or for those of you who get to essentially hide away all year and not network and get away with it, Christmas might be the time you can't do that. So you're going to have to go to the Christmas function, or customers or clients or industry partners are going to invite you to an event, and you're probably just going to have to say yes. So today, the aim of this short SNL session with you is to help you at the least to tolerate networking, and at the best, maybe enjoy it. So what I want to share with you is just some strategies to help you sit on that spectrum somewhere between tolerating it and actually enjoying networking. What the reason this is important though, so all jokes aside, the reason networking is important is because none of us can do life or business or your role alone. The more networked you are, the more valuable an employer you are to your employer, the more successful you will be in your role, the more you will learn about your industry, the more great conversations you're likely to have. If you're not well networked, you'll be missing out on opportunities. And by well networked, I'm not suggesting you need to know everybody, but I am suggesting it's necessary to talk to people and meet people, because we learn a lot about others, we learn about the industry. And yes, through networking, it's also an opportunity for us to win business or meet referral partners or people that can help us along the way of, I guess the business journey. When you're networking at Christmas events, I'm going to assume, I'm going to give you some, I guess, some scenarios. So one is a networking event where you know most of those people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The other one are kind of the events that we go to around Christmas, where it might be an industry function where you don't know a lot of people that are there, or you might know one or two people. Let's talk about the company Christmas party first. So the company Christmas party where you know most of these people. I get it. You don't have to be best friends with anyone at work. You don't even have to be great friends with anyone at work. But it is nice to actually enjoy the people that you work with. So this SNL session today is not really for those who love networking. This is for people who don't love networking. And when I worked corporate and I hated networking, I used to do the Houdini. So I would turn up to any events. I would do a lap around the room, so at least a whole bunch of people could say, oh yeah, Julia was definitely here. And I would literally disappear definitely within half an hour, because I just hated networking. I didn't know how to do the small talk. And being a female in a often male-dominated space, I don't talk cricket or football. So I found that really hard to have conversations about, and also very polarizing, but probably more acceptable these days. I don't drink. So I found that really tricky to navigate. I don't speak the language of sport, and I don't drink. So I found that was really tricky. So it just made me very insecure. So now it's very, very different. I couldn't care less about, well, actually, no, I shouldn't. That's a lie. I care less. No, I couldn't care less. I do care less about the fact that I don't drink. I think lots of people are making healthier choices these days, so that's fine. And I found a way to actually enjoy networking where I can have better conversations with people. So if you are talking to people at your company event that you know, I'm going to give you some easy starters to actually kick off the conversation. So the biggest tip that I can give you is come prepared with open questions to ask. For those that have been following my content for a while, you'll know that this is one of the biggest topics I talk about, which is about asking the right kinds of questions. Asking open questions allows you not to be the hero of the conversation. It just also means that you don't have to be witty or funny or think of all the clever things to say. you can just come armed with some nice questions to engage people. So rather than asking, are you going away for the holidays? You can ask, what are your plans for the time off, or what kind of time off are you taking? I'm going to rapid fire now some open questions you can ask people if you do know them. Actually, these questions are going to work for both. So whether you do know people at your Christmas event or you don't know people at the Christmas event, here are some open questions that you can come armed with to strike up some conversation just with people for some nice small talk. And I'm going to hazard a guess, and my prediction is if you come armed with some of these questions and you can ask them, you're going to end up in some really nice conversations with people. So some of the questions you can ask are, tell me about your plans for the Christmas season. I'd love to ask you about your work this year. What are some things you didn't get around to? What are some great personal things you've achieved, or something personal that you've achieved this year that you're proud of? What's something you're looking forward to doing next year? What's something on the holidays that you're looking forward to doing? How much time is it that you're taking off? How do you find, if you're talking to someone with children, how do you find doing the school holiday juggle is always a good one. So as someone with kids, I'm also always interested in people's tips for that. So if anyone has the answers for how to succeed with the school holiday juggle, please put them in the comments and share. You can also ask what's something on Netflix that you've watched, or on TV, or a good series that you've watched this year that you'd recommend. People love talking about shows. Also, with the holiday season, I probably watch more TV in the holidays than I do throughout the year. So asking that is helpful for me as well, so I can stockpile things to binge watch. What do you guys do for Christmas? What are your plans for Christmas Day? What's on your kids' Christmas list this year? I do find it interesting to ask questions around, probably because of the age of my kids, the Santa Claus thing. When does that stop? I feel like we're on the cusp now with one of our kids. So I'm interested to learn about that. So asking these kinds of questions to people just engages them in nice, pleasant conversation, and it becomes less about, so if you are to ask closed questions, here's how that generally goes. You've been busy this year? Are you taking any time off over the holidays? Are you going away? That's generally how the conversation goes in if we ask closed questions. Those three closed questions you're going to hear all the time. We can have much richer conversation if you come armed with some of those open questions. And again, Christmas networking isn't about, it's not really about collecting business cards and getting contacts. It's really just about having some nice conversation, maybe some nice food with some people that are in your industry or in your company. So the biggest thing you can do is turn up, challenge yourself and turn up. I have met through networking, I have met some wonderful people just through coming armed with some good open questions that have changed the way I interact. And I've come away with some lifelong friends simply that I've met through networking. So it doesn't always have to be that way, but this is a great way you can actually kick off some nice relationships with people that you might do business with, that you might see at other events. It just reminds me of another question that I've been asking recently with people is, what hobbies have you been getting up to this year? What hobbies would you like to start next year? And this has been for some really great conversation with people around making time for hobbies next year rather than making excuses. And the difference between doing things like going to the gym and health and fitness, not really a hobby, and actually purposefully doing things that you are passionate about. So that's also been a great conversation starter this year too, or especially in the silly season when I've been networking. So I hope that's helpful for people out there who are not looking forward to Christmas networking. I will say it's necessary. Do go to the Christmas event. Do try and meet some new people and have some great conversation with some informal topics, just like I've shared. And I'd love to hear how you go. Merry Christmas to everybody. This is our last SNL for this year. And I will see you back in the new year for Sales and Negotiations Live to share some more sales and negotiation tips and strategies with you in the new year to help you more successful in your role. Have a wonderful Christmas ahead. Have a wonderful holiday time ahead, and I'll see you in the new year.